How's it going? Doing an everyday carry video today. This is a pure everyday carry video. There isn't anything on the table that you can see right now apart from these two things, which is an either-or situation that I don't have on me absolutely every day. I've also showed you this before, and yeah, this is when I'm venturing sort of perhaps a bit further abroad, perhaps if I'm going out on foot away from my house. But if I'm just going to the shops or going about my everyday life, civilian life, not at work, these things I always have on me, and that's why it's quite a simple batch of stuff. It's rare to see an Australian person doing an everyday carry video on YouTube. I think that's just because the uptake rate is of being a YouTube producer is so much lower in Australia, especially for this sort of thing. So I think there'll be a few differences between sort of the philosophies behind my gear rather than the average US gear person's everyday carry. In a nutshell, my everyday carry is all about meeting life's little challenges that come up to you. And I mean little challenges, I mean that in every sense of the word. Opening things, undoing things, meeting all those challenges and being able to move past them as easy as possible. There's very little of a self-defense or tactical mindset put into my everyday carry, and that's just a cultural thing. In Australia, I think I'm not sure if the crime's lower, but we're not as, perhaps we're a bit more optimistic. We're not, it's hard to say without sounding offensive. We're not as worried about a bad guy coming and encroaching on us all the time. In fact, it's so far out of mind that most people don't even carry anything and would just rely on calling the police if something happens. And I think in Australia we're fortunate enough for that to be quite a viable strategy, so good on us. And of course it's nothing against America. Perhaps I'm sure life over there is a lot different, but in Australia it's quite often the people who make bad choices are the ones who are not only the criminals but also the ones who are victims of crime. I know I'm digressing a bit here, but I think lots of regular people often become too concerned about getting assaulted or getting robbed or something like that. And not to say it doesn't happen to the randoms, but it's just so often that case of you're putting yourself in a risky situation at first, which is going to increase your chances of risky behaviour being directed at you, if you get what I mean. So, in short, I don't go around, I don't go to the city at 3 o'clock in the morning and walk down the dodgy alleys. I don't walk across the parklands in the middle of the night. I don't have violent friends who I know are violent, and I don't associate with violent people, so I'm quite happy that my everyday carry doesn't need to be as tactical as perhaps the American one, where perhaps there is more of a risk every day of you going out and something bad happening to you, or a perceived risk at the very least. Anyway, I've talked for far too long about that. Don't want to test your patience too much. I'll start with my blade choice. I think there's a few things that every man should carry on him: a handkerchief, a knife, perhaps a torch, and some cash. I think those combination of things will be able to have you get through anything. And even a torch is probably variable. You just need something to open things, something to wipe your glasses with, or a bit of utility cloth, and the rest is really quite flexible, I think. So my blade of choice has and will continue to be the Leatherman Skeletal CX. I enjoy it because it's got a very high quality steel blade, and it also comes with a pair of pliers. I've done a full review. It's also got screwdrivers on it, which are one of the more essential, not compulsory, but more essential bits of EDC kit. So that's what I'll have on me. And the reason I've got the Swiss Army knife here is if I'm going somewhere more, a bit more sensitive. I think Swiss Army knives have almost no stigma around them. In fact, Queensland law, I don't live in Queensland, but Queensland law specifies these in knife carry rules. South Australia is more of a, as long as you're not using it in an idiotic way, or as long as you can in some way justify why you're carrying a knife, you're set. It's more about the attitude of the carrier rather than purely having it on you. But anyway, still, these are a lot more politically correct than even this Leatherman. Although it's a Leatherman, and Leatherman are quite a well-regarded brand, it still looks a bit more severe than the Swiss Army knife blade. And the Swiss Army knife actually has more tools in it as well. It's got the saw and the Phillips head screwdriver and the flat blade screwdrivers and the bottle openers and things like that, and the can opener. So it's got a couple of extra tools in it over the skeletal. So one of those two will be my my main blade. I've toyed with having pocket folders and things like that, but I don't want to carry one in addition to this, and this has more things on it. So although I've got the San Remu and I've got a couple of other pocket folders, I don't see myself using them because again, I'm not a tactical person. I'm not anticipating having to defend myself. And I mean, if I was attacked by the closest I've ever come to being attacked is by a bull kangaroo, and I know that's a horribly cliche thing to happen, but I was walking with my son and pretty much walked right in between a family of kangaroos that were drinking from the irrigation system on some vines, and the bull kangaroo got a bit pissed off, and I did reach for it, but then he ran away, and it wouldn't have done me any good anyway because he would have just kicked my head off. But anyway, that's it would probably do the job. I'm digressing again. So I'll move on to my keys. My keys are a pretty standard set of keys with a couple of little EDC items on them. Uncle Bill's sliver grippers, which I've done a review on. There's some excellent tweezers for splinters for when you're cutting wood, and a Victorinox Classic for the toothpick, because everyone knocks a toothpick, but you know what, when you've got something stuck in your teeth, very handy. And also, it does have a little tiny blade. Hello, no, that's the blade there. No, it's not, it's the, oh, that's both. What have I done? So that's the little tiny blade there, handy I suppose, and this is the nail file. So I've made all my nail needs in one little package there, because on the other side, of course, it's great little miniature Victorinox scissors. So my EDC does have scissors in it. Excelsior. Okay, I've got my little lead lenser P3. It's the very, very portable little flashlight. Torch. It's got a very basic version of the sliding focus. That pretty much just goes from a very defined circle to a blurry circle. But there, I've got my wallet, which just has cash in it, and that's about it. And then the thing, that big colourful, silly-looking child's scarf above is actually, well, it is a scarf, but I used to carry a hanky, and yeah, hankies are fantastic, but I never blow my nose on a hanky. I don't like the idea of a snot rag back in my pocket, so we always use a tissue anyway. So I thought, why not upgrade my hanky to a more flexible sort of design. So what this is, it's a sort of square. It's about a 30 centimeters by 15 centimeters, and then but it's like a tube. So I wear this as I wear it over my face, sort of ninja style, if I'm cutting wood, to stop wood chips going into my nose and mouth, or I can, if I'm riding a bicycle, it can stop bugs from going into my face as well. And it's also just a bit of comfort. I like having a bit of a neckerchief sort of thing, very scout style. I'm a Boy Scout at heart, so that really fulfills that little need there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my everyday carry. I've been into my Max Edition kit, and as I said, that's for the more, perhaps, might have a chance of being high and dry. I'm certainly not a survivalist by any means, but as I said, it's all just about moving through life as best as you can, day by day. And these things help greatly in that. Thanks for watching.